Good evening, my dear freshman parents. Um, our first meeting of the year. When I was thinking about this whole concept of reopening, my thoughts really ran to um, the class that is just coming in, the freshmen. You have no idea how much we enjoyed our freshman orientation and how much we're looking forward to them coming back in person this school year. And so I've had openings and openings and openings, but you must know that this is very different. It's the end of 18 months of our children being away from us. And so, therefore, it's extremely important to us. But I wanted to start out this evening because probably most of you are not acquainted with Southland. First, to talk about opportunities and what we believe in. We believe in unlimited potential and unlimited possibilities, but you probably would say those are just words. What does it mean concretely? And so, if we look at Southland College Prep, our first goal, our first objective is simply to provide a comprehensive academic education for all of our students so that when they leave us and when they go into the collegiate world, we can ensure that they are competitive. We can ensure that they're able to critically think. We can ensure, very simply, that they're going to persist because our goal is for them to graduate. But probably you're thinking there have to be other goals. And we work very hard to have 100% college acceptance. But as we entered into this college preparation process 11 years ago now, it's unbelievable. 11 years ago, we had to think about how would we as the working middle class be able to afford to send our students to some of the best colleges in the nation. Because I'm sure you're aware that University of Chicago, Yale, Harvard, Spelman, Tougaloo, all of those colleges are very expensive. And generally, you could be looking at $40,000 to $60,000 a year. So in addition to preparing our students academically, in addition to 100% college acceptances, we put as much effort as we possibly can into identifying and acquiring scholarships so that the weight of the finances will not prevent you as parents and probably just as important, our students from making a dream decision. And I say that because this is about building dreams. It is about the future. It's really not about these 4 years that they spend with us. But when I thought about this, I thought I must show you a very, very short video, which in essence defines who we have been, who we are, and where we're going. So, Mr. Lights, if you please, show the video to our freshman parents. And I want to enjoy watching it also. When we prepared to open Southland College Prep, I talked about the dream, the vision, the mission of preparing our students to be competitive in a world that's larger than ours and to fill the hopes and dreams of the community. This dream was something that was very tangible to us.
Southland especially, I think, reflects the dreams and the passions of a community for excellence in education.
The question in this community was, where will your child go to high school? And it was a question that was of some concern.
And we were hoping and praying for a school that would prepare them for college.
From the first day, I could tell that Southland offered its students a lot of opportunities.
The opportunities you get here is just amazing. Like, you don't have to pay for your AP test here. You don't have to pay for your SAT or ACT test here. So it makes it not only affordable, but they really prepare you for what's to come.
I remember Dr. Davis was speaking. One of the most distinct
memories I have from that day is when she gave us the holders for the diploma. And I was like, wow, this is the real deal.
I was 23 out of 25 on the waiting list. Day one, I had a positive attitude. I didn't care where I would be as long as I'd be under the Southland name, learning from Southland teachers.
And I'm so glad that I didn't turn my back and say I couldn't accept the challenge, because I stand here now and I've proven, as well as my peers said, we excelled and we did the best that we could.
The strong should take care of the weak. The students of today are the leaders of tomorrow. We are a family-oriented school. Anything worth doing is worth doing right. Our responsibilities never end. Our education does not end in the classroom.
Becoming role models, leaving a place better than we found it. If you really take hold of those lines and apply it to your life, you could make a profound difference.
Seeing the art program, the band, the chorus, drama, and dance, using it as a vehicle for teaching, to present oneself with class and dignity and integrity is of the utmost importance.
My philosophy is always been that there's more than one way to solve a problem, that there isn't one correct way, and that problem solving is a creative process. It's not memorization as much as it is how to attack something.
Ultimately, I'm looking for them to not remember the things that we've read per se, or remember that, you know, Hamlet is a tragedy by Shakespeare, but rather that they can take those skills and then employ them in their lives beyond.
I think really it comes down to Mr. Anderson and Mr. Lane, because they really sit with you and really help you understand, you know, what's going on when it comes to post-high school life and how to understand where you're going and what's the best decision for you.
The goal was very simple. The goal was that we wanted to get all of our young people into a four-year college or university. But in addition to that, we wanted to get the very top of our class, students who were deserving of being in highly selective colleges and institutions. We wanted to be able to help them to access those institutions. It soon became apparent that the kids were very receptive. Over and above that, their parents were very receptive.
Quite a milestone for a group of students. Every member of the graduating class of Southland College Prep in Richton Park has been accepted by colleges and universities. Altogether, they've earned more than $5.5 million in scholarships.
A small high school in the southwest suburbs is helping to change the lives of its students.
Every student, all of you are all in.
Hofstra University.
University of Notre Dame.
Washington University.
Morehouse College.
Yale University.
Yale!
Yes.
And for the third consecutive year, the entire graduating class from Southland College Prep is headed to college. All 109 graduates have been accepted to schools across the country, including 36 of the top 50 ranked United States colleges and universities.
That is amazing.
What a group
Good
of
for
students,
they need
right?
to be honored for that. Exactly. That is incredible.
An entire class of graduating seniors has a lot to be proud of.
The class of 2017 is all in.
$25,327,000.
That's how much these college-bound students have been awarded in scholarships to make their dreams a reality.
And the class of 2018 is all in.
Class of 2018 graduates notched $28.2 million in merit-based scholarships. Southland College Prep seniors have secured more than $100 million in scholarships with its first 5 graduating classes.
$100 million is a staggering figure, and it's really a staggering figure for 5 classes for the little engine that could.
You are all in.
The South Suburban High School gets ready for graduation. They have a big reason to celebrate. The entire graduating class got accepted to college.
Another reason to celebrate, this senior class was awarded more than $50 million in merit-based scholarships.
Congratulations. Now, Southland has had 6 graduating classes, and all 6 have had a 100% graduation rate. Way to go.
Wow.
The class of 2020, you are all in.
Circumstances may have forced them apart, but the senior class at Southland College Prep in Richton Park was all in as the school celebrated all 136 students in the class of 2020 heading to college. The class of seniors are the South Suburban Charter High School 7th graduating class to all be accepted by an institution of higher learning, earning this year collectively nearly $60 million in merit-based scholarships. So far, graduating classes at Southland have racked up over $200 million in scholarship offers.
When historians write about the class of 2020, you know what they're going to say? They achieved despite everything.
Class of 2021, you are all in.
Southland College Prep are really celebrating an impressive achievement because that school's 138 seniors have all been accepted to college. They held a virtual celebration at the Richton Park campus this morning. This is, in fact, the 8th straight year that the school's seniors achieved that 100% college acceptance rate. And then get this, the students also earned $50 million in merit-based scholarships. Wow. Actually, 30 of the grads earning $1 million or more. So congratulations to all of them tonight.
Not only have we prepared students to go on to college, and we've been able to provide the means, what we've been able to do is to stimulate a sense of hope. I know that it's a little bit old-fashioned, but a sense that the American dream, in the old definition of it, the definition that we had when we were growing up, the American dream, this business of coming to our shores and doing better than those who did before, the American dream can be achieved. And if you ask me how in the future you will define Southland College Prep, it will be about that dream. It will be about that mission. And it will be about the faith that we as a community, as a people have. And simply, that is Southland College Prep. Hope you're watching the video with me. Every time I look at it, I think back and I remember the names and the faces of all the students who walked our halls and their futures in the colleges they're attending. But also now what I'm thinking is that I will have the opportunity to get to know our current freshmen, and they will make an impact on Southland, make an impact on who we are. And I'd like to think that the goal ultimately is that our students make a positive impact on the community, that they make a positive impact on their families. And I really think that's what education is all about. But I do think this video told our story, and it's an example of our goals because when you see their faces, some of you recognize them from the communities, some of you know their parents, then it makes the goals and objectives live for you. We're not for everyone. If college is not your goal, if that's not what you want for your child, then perhaps another place is for you, because we're absolutely determined. But we're going back to school, and this Thursday, we welcome our freshmen back, the freshmen only. On Friday, we will weave in the sophomores, and in the building, there will be freshmen and sophomores. But on Monday, we open in totality, everyone comes back to school. So we do think that that's the best way for us to open, that freshmen should be able to get their schedules, their Chromebooks, and Mr. Daniel Evans is here. He'll talk to you about technology. I also have with me Mr. Robert Lane, who is our Director of College Counseling and Alumni Relations. I see our athletic director, Mr. Thomas, and he will talk to you about sports and clubs. And always with me is Dr. Corey Levy, who is our director of day-to-day operations. But I don't know what you're thinking. I want you, please, on the chat, put every question that you have. And someone asked me today, well, why are we going back to school? And I was actually, I was a little taken back, a little surprised by that. I think our teachers did everything that was possible on remote education. I think they did a fantastic job. But if there's anyone out there that thinks that remote education, education through the use of technology, can take the place of children, students being in a building with face-to-face interaction with the teachers, with the ability to answer questions, with the ability also, remember, to socialize and to grow as young people, it simply cannot. And so I'm extremely happy that we're coming back for face-to-face education. But a question might be, what about these masks? I see it on television. Actually, only one person has called me in the last couple of months to ask why we were coming back with masks. We're coming back with masks for one simple reason: it's safer. It's safer. If we can prevent even one child, one teacher, one visitor, whomever we come in contact with, from catching COVID, from going through those negative experiences that many times end in hospitalization, then that's what we intend to do. But you've been around us and in the community, you know that we've been masked for a year and a half. We've been masked for a year and a half. We must do everything that's possible to protect everyone. Because how can we feel safe? How can our students concentrate on what's going on within the school environment if they're worrying about whether or not germs are being transmitted? But it can't be just mask. We've had a huge emphasis on vaccinations. And, you know, when I looked at the numbers today, I'm extremely proud of the Southland teachers. We are 95% vaccinated. We're 95% vaccinated. And I'm working on the under 5% that are not. But I think that that's magnificent. I think that the teachers know that we're in an educational bubble, and in order to protect everyone, the most important thing that we can do is to wear masks and to be vaccinated. But looking at this more comprehensively, what are we doing? First of all, online now on our website, the total plan is there. And it's more than 30 pages. We've tried to anticipate, because we've had a whole year to think about this, everything that could impact a day in the life of a child at Southland. That's the way I like to look at it. But in the spring, we own 8 buildings, you know, our family, within the family. And so our buildings and grounds people hired specialists that put in ionization systems in all of our buildings so that the air would be filtered before it came into the building. And supposedly 98% of pollutants in the air could be, no matter what it is, it doesn't have to be COVID, but anything that might be a problem to us is being filtered out. So we did that even before we started the summer school program. We also, you know, that we've added a huge addition, a lot more washrooms, state-of-the-art washrooms that emphasize touchless water fountains, touchless ways of our children washing their hands. We do have videos that teach our students how to properly wash their hands, but you're talking about young adults. Certainly they know that that is a part of what we do on a daily basis. As you enter every room in Southland, you will see a dispenser of hand sanitizer. So when we come in and out, we put hand sanitizer on, and that's become a part of simply what we do on a day-to-day basis. But we had to think of the lunch periods. And what we decided is that we would have another area, not just the commons, to serve lunch, because everyone will unmask during lunch. And so in the lobby of our field house, we now have a separate, smaller lunchroom. And I don't know if you visited the field house, but there's actually a kitchen there. There's showers, there's washers and dryers. It's a complete facility. One of these days we will play competitive sports. One of these days we will feel comfortable and welcoming others back here. But we were thinking right at this moment about the serving of lunch and what it is that we would do in order to make that possible. So effective immediately when they come in the building, they will see how we're serving lunch, trying to keep as much distance between children as possible, making sure that they're all sitting in one direction, and so that if they're breathing, germs are not being spread. And so we thought about that. But vaccinations, August 24th, when our students come back to school, we're going to be surveying them. We're going to find out how many are vaccinated and how many are not. But on August 24th, Dr. Richard Watson, who's been with us on five other occasions, will be here. And with your permission, we will proceed to vaccinate any child that has the permission of their parents. We want to close in this bubble. And if in fact, we can have numbers that are similar to the numbers that we have with the teachers, and that's what we want to do. We want everyone to be safe and vaccinated. But I did have a parent call me this today about the mask, just one parent. But I thought about that, and I want to show you something. What I concentrate on is how the students feel about something. And her child has been continually on remote, so she's not aware that we have had students in the building since January. She perhaps is not aware that we had a huge summer school program. I don't think that her child was a part of our fine arts program this summer, but let me show you something about what our students can do in mask.
Grace.
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 Grace. Grace.
Grace.
Grace.
Grace.
Grace.
Grace.
Grace.
Grace.
Don't you see the waters quiet, running smooth? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh,
You're probably thinking, why did I show you that? Do you know how resilient and how tough our children are? Do you know the power of the Southland family? That was filmed in our field house. You saw happy, engaged young people dancing with masks on. You saw them singing with masks on. What you probably didn't see clearly is that there were 35 professional musicians playing with masks on. When you're determined to do something, nothing ever stands in your way. You probably are not aware, but our choir, the Southland Choir, sung in masks for 35 graduations. You know, we did socially distanced graduations 3 times a day. So I don't know if you're thinking about masks. That certainly is not in my mind, but I am thinking about the fact that our students need to come back to school. I'm thinking about the fact that 65% of you in the freshman class have been on remote education for 18 months. That's huge. I'm thinking about the possible void, the possible deficiencies, things that perhaps were not taught or perhaps were not even learned. And so I know that you need to come back to school. But I heard our students as they talked about grace, about Amazing Grace, but then I heard them go into a song called "A Bridge Over Troubled Waters," and that is my inspiration for this school year. Schools, Southland, all schools are bridges over troubled waters. It is our honor, our job to welcome them back, to do everything that we can to keep them safe, to fill in these voids in education, to put some smiles above the mask and make sure that they're happy, to make sure that they're focused, because this too is going to pass. I know we're fighting a mighty battle as a country, but don't you think that we're capable of doing this and that we fought battles before? I think that. And so we're going to open on Thursday to our freshmen. We have such hopes and dreams for them. And one of these days, you will have the joy to see them walk across the stage. And I'm feeling, even with this class that's coming up that are now seniors, that we're going to be able to go back to a more traditional graduation. But I want you always to think about the possibilities. I also want you to think about the strength of the public school system. Don't you think that together, the family, the community, we can do anything for our students? And so we open, because we are that bridge, that foundation, that bridge over troubled waters. But now it is my honor to introduce someone that may be known to you, but if not, you will get to know him. He's going to answer a couple of your questions about uniforms. And I'm excited about these sweaters, Dr. Levy. Please come to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. I am just as excited as well. Thank you for those inspirational and encouraging words. Like Dr. Davis said, I know some of you are coming with us with a little angst, not just because of the times that we're in, because you're actually sending your babies off to high school. I get it. I understand. I have twin daughters. I've been through it. So again, good evening. Like as Dr. Davis said, I am the director here at Southland College Prep. And the purpose of tonight is simply to provide you with a little information and address any questions that you may have. But what I want to begin with is to share with you some of the teachers that your son or daughter will have their freshman year. Mr. Holmes, World History. Miss White, Technology. Mr. Stewart, Physical Education. Miss Cum, Spanish. Miss Laurie, French. Miss Euler, Biology. Miss Trojan, English. Miss Panazzo and Miss Adams-Check will be algebra. Band, we have Mr. Harrigan. Dance, we have Mrs. Chapman and Mr. Davis. And strings, we have Miss Hill. And as Dr. Davis said, students will be getting their schedules on that first day of class. So the school day begins at 7:30 a.m. and ends at 3:30 p.m. with all after-school activities starting at 3:45. Mr. Thomas will address that a little bit further when he comes up. All students are required to wear masks at all times on the bus and on school property. Parents, we understand that this is a big year. All we're asking is to make sure that your student is getting used to the culture and climate here at Southland. As we like to say, the Southland way, meaning they must be at school on time and in full uniform. And I know I saw a few questions in the chat about uniforms. So one thing is white or navy Southland collared shirt, polo, or button down. We are fully aware that the collared shirt with the logo are on back order. So what we're asking is for all students to wear their plain white collared shirts. That's acceptable. So just make sure that you put your order in with school bells. Also, navy cardigan sweaters, what Dr. Davis has been talking about. Let me grab one behind me. So for the freshmen, they will be in navy cardigan sweaters. Again, the sweaters were $60 each. What we are asking is that the parents paid the $30. So I would say out of the 168 of you, 100 have paid for their sweaters. So on that first day, parents, please make sure you send your son or daughter with a check or cash to make sure that they're paid for their sweaters. We do have the sweaters in-house. Also, tan or navy pants, tan or navy skirts for the young ladies, black, brown, tan, or navy blue shoes. Please no gym shoes, no cloth shoes. Black or brown or blue belts for the young men. And parents, I know some of you have had their sons' ears pierced over the summer, but at Southland, we do not allow earrings whatsoever. No tape over their earrings or no starters to go in the ear as well. We will go over the discipline code in length on that first day of school to make sure that everyone is on the same page. And that's all I have. So right now, I'm going to bring up Mr. Evans, who is our Director of Technology.
Good evening, freshman parents. Welcome back, freshmen. We're glad to have you. We're excited to start the school year off. We know everyone's ready and willing to dive right in and learn. We're going to talk a little bit about technology. So this year, every freshman will have a Chromebook. They'll get that Chromebook on the first day. There will be more additional directions coming. We will have all of the technology on the Chromebooks preloaded. So as soon as the students sign in, they will be able to see everything that we've already been working very diligently and hard to prepare for them over the summer. The applications will automatically pop up. The students will also be given inside of their schedules, inside their folders, a password to access the wireless network. So we're going to remind the students, we'll talk a little bit more in depth about what they will need to do when they first open their Chromebooks as they get into classroom and how they connect differently from any other previous years about how they connect to the wireless network inside of the building. So we're very excited once again. The students will have their Chromebooks day one. They also will be given brand new cases that will enclose those Chromebooks. So the Chromebooks are to stay inside of the cases. The students are to work within those Chromebooks within that case. It is meant to protect the Chromebook from damage. And so we're hoping that we'll have a very successful year. We actually know we'll have a very successful year. And once again, we're going to welcome you back. We're glad to see you. We're going to see those smiling faces through those masks. And we wish you a very successful, positive, and safe year. So thank you very much.
Mr. Thomas, what are we going to do in sports? And what about these clubs? I know you're not shy, so you can come up.
Good evening to the members of the class of 2025 and your families. Welcome to the Southland family. Knowing that most of you were here for, in fact, all of you were here for Freshman Academy, during that time, you received a list of the athletics that we offer, as well as the activities that we offer. If you did not get that list, we will give you another list on Thursday. So we'll make sure that everybody has a complete list. But just to give you a little insight this fall. For example, we have 6 different teams. We'll have boys cross country, girls cross country, boys golf, girls tennis, and girls volleyball. That's for the fall. We also have the winter sports and the spring sports. We'll discuss that at another time. Some of the activities you may like to join and may be involved with. This year, the speech team, student council, class officers are available. The anime club, the board club, National Honor Society, language clubs, teens helping teens, and 12 other clubs and organizations that you can become a part of. So we want you to get involved when you come. The more you get involved, the easier and the happier you'll be, guaranteed. So get involved when you come to Southland. On the academic side, and that we have to look at, if you are a part of an IHSA activity, you have to be eligible every week. On Monday of every week, we check every student that's involved in IHSA activities. You must be passing 7 of your 8 courses, at least 7 of your 8 courses. If you're not, you're ineligible for that week. And it goes week by week. You're ineligible for that entire week, and we check on Monday. So it's important, especially important as a freshman, that you try and keep your grade point average as high as possible. You have to learn how to use your time. You have to learn how to be effective in getting things done. And last but not least, I want to honor a member of your class. One of your classmates, Mr. John Hanna, became an All-American in track at the USATF Junior Olympics in Jacksonville, Florida. Mr. Hanna was 4th in the nation in the 400-meter dash. He also placed in the top 12 in the 200-meter dash and the top 20 in the 100-meter dash. So we'd like to say congratulations to him and welcome to being an All-American. The last thing I want to talk about is your gym suits. The first quarter of the year, you will not be wearing gym suits or getting dressed, at least for the first quarter. So after that time, after the first quarter, if necessary, if that time we decide to do so, students will then be given gym suits. So it's not a problem. We have them. We'll have them for the students when they need them. If you have any other questions, please call the athletic office and I will answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. And I know that you have a particular love for track and field and cross country. So I know we're going to do well in that. But we do have Mrs. Rachel Ware, our PTSO president, on the Zoom. And Mrs. Ware, could you please bring us greetings?
Good evening, Southland family. How are you all? My name is Rachel Ware, and I am the president of the PTSO. And I will introduce all of my board members. We have Jatan Anderson. She is vice president of the PTSO. Nancy Brazil, she is our secretary this year. And Vanessa Dora is our treasurer. I have a daughter in Southland. She is a sophomore this year. And I just had a daughter graduate last year as a senior. She did go on to Stanford. So I'm very proud of the work that the PTSO, Southland has been able to do for our family. And I look forward to all that they'll be able to do for you all's family coming in as freshmen. So I'm going to take a few minutes to explain what the PTSO does. Our number one goal is our PTSO scholarship. Last year, we were able to raise over $3,000, ranging from $1,100 to $500 per student. We gave out 5 scholarships. And so this year we would like to meet that goal or exceed it so that we also can give out at least 5 scholarships to our seniors. In order to do that, we do fundraising throughout the year. Unfortunately, we will not be able to do our traditional fundraising in the building. So this year we're going to be thinking outside of the box like last year to do certain things to bring in funds for the school. Our number one fundraiser this year will be October 2nd, and it's a clothing drive. And so there'll be a flyer with more information coming out, but I know the kids are getting ready to go to school. You have the uniforms from last year, school clothes from last year that they can no longer fit. And don't just give it to the Salvation Army this year. Save it for us. October 2nd, I'll give out the information with the details. but you'll be able to drop off clothing, curtains, bedding, any soft goods we'll take. And then we're able to collect funds for that. So our goal is that if we get one bag per family, we should be able to reach our goal of $1,000. So I'm asking all of our Southland families to participate, our teachers, and just like I said, save the bags and we'll have a drop off. Our other fundraiser in September, we'll announce the date later, is we're going to do the Covers, where you all can come in through Covers from a certain time period on a certain day, and we'll receive 20% of whatever you buy. Unfortunately, they no longer do Fridays, so it will be a day during a week, but I will also announce that hopefully within the next couple of weeks. Our PTSO meetings are every first Tuesday of the month, at 6:30. So they will be virtual this year, and you will get an email the day of or the day before with the link so parents can come in. And each meeting will talk about things going on in Southland. And then we also try to have different kind of educational things going on that are pertaining to our students and what we're dealing with at that time. We do ask that you join our PTSO. The membership to join is $10 per family, no matter how many children you have. And then we also ask for a one-time contribution of $100. In order for your child, once they're a senior, to be able to participate in the scholarship, you have to have made that one-time contribution of $100. Some families do $25 per year. Some families do $50 here, and then they'll do $50 senior year. So you can pay however you want to pay. We do keep a record of all of the parents, but it helps to go into the scholarship fund, and everything that we do goes right back to the students. So because we are virtual now, we do have a Cash App. It is Southland PTSO. And with that, you can send in your $10 membership. You also can make your contribution. Just make sure in the memo, you put your name, your student's name, and what the money is going towards. And also, I'm asking our parents to go and like us on Facebook. We'll keep as much communication as we can virtually on Facebook, and we're going to see if we can get the kids to help us to expand a little bit more so that everybody can know what's going on, because it's not as easy to keep up to date with us not being in the building. So I look forward to you all being open-minded, staying with us, and I'm hoping that we will have a great year. And congratulations, Southland.
Thank you, Mrs. Ware. We are going to have a great year. I feel it. It's kind of in the air. I would say that. We do have with us Mr. Robert Lane. He is our Director of College Counseling and Alumni Relations. But this year, he has God knows how many ideas. He's thinking about taking freshmen, sophomores, and juniors to colleges. And you know what, parents? We may not be able to do this in the fall, but we're hopeful, ever so hopeful, that we will have overcome this. And I'm looking forward to the spring. And so, Mr. Lane, would you share some thoughts with us, please?
Good evening, class of 2025. Thank you for the introduction, Dr. Davis. My name is Mr. Robert Lane, and I serve as the Director of College Admissions and also serve as Director of Alumni Affairs. So while Ms. Ware has had one young lady leave the nest and is on her way to Stanford, part of my charge is to work with her daughter to and through college, as I will with all of our children and all of your families. So understand that Southland, our commitment is not only to make sure that we prepare students for college, but to also make sure that we see them to and through. So one reason why I wanted to meet you all today, and thank you for the opportunity, is to one, say it was a pleasure to meet so many of you during the Freshman Academy this year. As many of you may or may not remember, we've already begun to ask you about your collegiate hopes and dreams. And that's because it's never too early to begin. And most importantly, your performance this year will play a major role in helping to realize the dream that you may already have or the dream that will come to manifest itself. yourself. So as young people, to my first year students, again, welcome to Southland. And I encourage you, as we did at Freshman Academy, to enjoy all of your classes and don't be afraid to take chances, as you may end up liking something that you never imagined that you would. As I work with seniors in their process to apply to college, and I work with alumni as they make their way through college, so many of them reflect back on moments which sparked a light and which sparked the flame, which led them in the direction where they are today. And for many of them, it actually happened way back in 9th grade in freshman year. They didn't think anything of it at the time, but as they look back and look at them now, one thing that the alumni would like to share with our first year students is that many of the directions that they ended up taking a path started in their first year at Southland College Prep. So get the most out of your classes, make new friends, and trust that our teachers want the best for you. Southland is not an easy place, so do not hesitate to reach out for support with whomever you are most comfortable with as you begin to make your transition into our family. You'll definitely find me and all of the other administrators in the hallways, and I promise to make some appearances in your freshman technology class to help you explore some college and career possibilities. As Dr. Davis noted, we're going to be expanding our reach to make sure that as our young people begin their process and their journey towards our true destination, which is college, we want to enhance college and career readiness, and we will be beginning that work in freshman year. For the parents, as you've seen from our videos, Southland has built a tradition of excellence, and we've delivered with every graduate with having 100% college acceptance. As you've seen, we've amassed over $250 million in our first 7 graduating classes, and we've ensured, most importantly, that our students are prepared for college. So not only do they enroll, but they stay. But parents, what we're most proud of is creating a positive, supportive school culture that welcomes students with open arms and provides them with a place that they can feel safe, a place that they can be themselves, and a place that will support them. So in doing these things, young people can truly perform at their best. And this is why our students have been so successful, because we have a culture that supports their aspirations to be their best. While my greatest interaction will still be with juniors and seniors, I want these young people to know that all of us, including myself, will wrap around you completely from day one so that we can see you through the finish line, which is coming much sooner than you think. If you want to have some early conversations about college, freshmen, parents, families, I'm only a phone call, email, text message, or Zoom meeting away. Welcome to Southland College Prep, where excellence is the expectation.
Thank you, Mr. Lane. And parents, if there are any questions that we have not addressed, then please continue to put them on the chat. I will respond this evening if I can, but certainly by tomorrow morning. Thursday is the first day of school. What a wonderful thing. What a wonderful opportunity. Think about this. If we had perfect attendance on the first day of school, indicating that we really have no fears, because we know that we're going to stay masked. We know that we understand the science, and we're going to do everything that we can to encourage everyone in our environment to be vaccinated. When you come into our buildings, whatever the reason you come in, we have temperature gauges that will make sure that no one's coming in with a fever. We're not naive, but we're going to do everything that we can to fight this battle to get our children safely back in school. I'm honored every day to have the opportunity to serve. Please call me, communicate with me, send me an email. But the futures of our young people are at stake, and we must make up for the year that we've lost. And then we must continue this process of building them so that they're strong enough to go to anywhere in the United States that they might choose to go and to be successful. So good night, and thank you so much for listening. Take care.